The Eurasian collared dove is known by the scientific name Streptopelia decaocto. Streptos meaning collared, and pelia meaning dove. But the second word, decaocto, is steeped in Greek mythology. A servant girl who toiled endlessly was paid only 18 coins per year by her mistress. Upset with the meager pay for all her efforts and hard work, she pleaded with Zeus to let the world know of her mistreatment. Zeus turned her into a dove, with the dove's soulful call hearkening back to her plight. Decaocto refers to her annual wage, deca meaning 10, and octo meaning 8. They are a prolific species of dove with a range that extends around the world. Wherever they go, they thrive. They are hardy, resourceful, and adaptable. They are lovers of seeds and grains. They benefit from human establishment. And let's not forget that, like many doves, they are excellent parents, with both male and female being highly devoted to raising their young. So how do these birds manage to disperse so widely? And where do they originate from? Here's how it goes down. They were originally from India, China, and Southeast Asia. In the 1600s, their range expanded to Turkey and the Balkans. They hung around there for a few hundred years, and then in the 1930s, they expanded rapidly across Europe. But before I go any further, let me clarify something that might be picking at your brain as it did mine. What would cause them to stay in one spot for about 300 years and then suddenly move on? Research has suggested a few ideas. It could be due to geographical barriers like mountains, or cold and harsh climates, or a lack of sufficient food supply that kept them where they were. But there's another idea mentioned in the literature. In the part of the Balkans that was formerly under Turkish control, or part of the Ottoman Empire at that time, the doves flourished because it was protected by the mostly Muslim population who had deep respect for them. Nest sites were provided around homes, and killing the birds would get you 2 weeks in prison. Once the Turks were forced to give up occupation of the Balkans in 1878, much of the dove-protecting Muslim population left. Their numbers declined sharply and, in some places, disappeared altogether. After 1900, the population started to recover, and by 1930, it had a similar distribution in the Balkans as it had previously. As the rest of Europe was colonized, the doves continued to expand their range along with it. They were first reported breeding in the UK in 1955. In the 1970s, they were brought to the Bahamas and were being sold at a pet shop. The shop was burglarized, during which some of the doves escaped. The shop owner thereafter released the rest of the flock, which was about 50 birds. Another release happened in 1976 on the island of Guadalupe after a volcano threatened to erupt. So from both of these releases, they spread to the nearby Caribbean islands and eventually were discovered breeding in Florida in 1982, and now can be found over much of North America. They haven't established populations in the northeastern United States. No one knows why, but clearly the doves know something that we don't. And lastly, their coo and other vocalizations. Both male and female make the same monosyllabic coo, but the female's is a slightly higher pitch. Here's the male. And now the female. When they take flight or when they're excited or alarmed, they sometimes make this sound that you'll hear alongside their wing whistles. I'll close with a short personal story. There was a pair of Eurasian collared doves near me that I became very familiar with. The male had a distinctive beak, with the top growing over and crossing over the bottom beak like a crossbill. I would always refer to him as overgrown beak dove or crossbill dove. He was able to eat just fine, was bonded to his mate, and raised a few clutches of young. He would often come by and coo or take shelter on a windy day, and his presence was always comforting to me. So what do you think of Eurasian collared doves? Do you have them where you live? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. That's all for this time. I'll see you again soon.